Once the red light's on, man.
Yeah, we do. I say it all day.
Same.
Shocked that I don't. I enjoy cussing, and
Yep.
We can have a discussion about cussing without cussing. I think that's
absolutely.
But yeah. I enjoy the inflection of it and the power of it. I don't typically cuss at other people unless I'm in the car, because I think I get a pass at that point. Right?
I have often said that there are. I don't believe there are any innocent victims of freeway shootings. For that reason, you don't get to hear both sides of this story. So I don't know.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's funny.
Is that the way to get our account canceled again on X?
I don't know.
Think so.
I don't know. It's a special.
We're gonna find out.
Business Brain. Let's see. Join us. Okay, I'm posting on X. The show. But yeah, and when I say I cuss at people in the car, I don't cuss at the people in my car.
No, I knew what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. So where is that? There we go. Join us. Live stream.
There we go.
Okay. Wednesday. And what topics we're talking about? If you're just joining us, we're getting ready to do a very special live stream.
A sneak peek
of next week. Right. Topics include, I'm going to put this, see if I can get somebody to, topics include the fight against complexity and leaning into your personality. Okay, I am ready whenever you join us. Boom. All right. Awesome.
Man, I gotta look at something.
Very cool. And so today we're talking about your productivity and then the fight against complexity. All right, great. I got to go D&D here so nobody bothers me.
Oh, it's part of my. I have a script that opens all my apps for the podcast, and it turns on my focus mode for the podcast.
We're going to talk about complexity.
Yeah, well, I've learned how to live with myself mostly.
Yeah.
Okay, in certain ways. Yes.
Yeah. All right, right on.
All right, we're ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Let's rock. It's interesting. On Tuesday at this point in time, we have, I don't know, maybe we'll build up more viewers on the live stream. I'm curious to see.
Yeah, me too.
Is Tuesday any different than Thursday?
We made it up to about 150.
Yeah, something
viewers,
like that.
Right around there, I think. So it'll be interesting to see. And I do know that there are a lot of shows that live stream and whatever else that they spend a lot of time on the pre-show to wait for people to get in. They're like, okay, let's wait for people to, but I don't know whether that's applicable for us or whatever, but we gave them a few minutes, so I'm ready whenever you are.
Give them a few minutes. We're still in the pre-show, but we're going to go.
Yeah, here we go.
It's time. It's time. Oh, no, I got to put that in the right spot.
Uh-oh.
It's all good. I think. I don't know. Business Brain, episode 575 for Wednesday, August 21st. Internet Self-Care Day 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take an idea or an event or a something, we analyze it, we dissect it, we use it to help tune our business brains to be better in the future so we can all keep living that charmed life. Here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And I'm still out here in California. I'm Shannon Jean, and I'm happy to be here.
I am happy to be here, too. I am somewhat surprised to be here. Not that I'm surprised that we're doing the show. That's normal. We'd scheduled it. It was on my calendar. I have time to do it. I'm focused. I'm here. It's appropriate that this is Internet Self-Care Day. I think the whole vibe behind that is the internet is a resource for a lot of things. Why not use it as a resource for some self-care or whatever?
Yeah, that's cool.
I feel like I need some of that this week. I and we're recording this a week in advance because when it comes out, I'm going to be at Podcast Movement, which is part of my issue. I am a very productive person. I like to say that, and I like for it to be true. This week, I'm starting, and even the last couple of weeks, I'm starting to wonder how productive is too productive, and at what point does focused productivity just become another form of busy? Yeah. Because this week I am so packed with things. Like let's see, Monday. I don't even remember what Monday was. That was the first day of the week, wasn't it? I'm sure
it's a blur.
Yeah, it's a blur, right? Yeah. So I had some events on Monday, and then Tuesday we recorded this show. I had some meetings in the morning, and then I had a rehearsal that night for Rocky Horror that I'm playing this weekend. That's Wednesday, cool. Same kind of thing. Right. All of these things are great. Wednesday, same kind of thing. Also a rehearsal Wednesday night for Rocky Horror. Thursday today, I've been in meetings all day, having to prep, this podcast, although I didn't do as much of that as I needed to until we got together, because it was only 20 minutes before we got together that I saw, we're doing this on Thursday. Yeah. Right. I have time for it. It's there. But my day has just been packed. And I like how productive I am when my day is packed. If my day has nothing scheduled, I often wind up saying, well, I could take this little detour right now and do what I need to do later. Whereas when my day is packed and I know I don't have any wiggle room, then I just have to get to it. Like, I'm doing it right now. And I had meetings all day. I have this. I was supposed to have a rehearsal tonight. That just got canceled. That's a good thing. But then tomorrow I have a podcast in the morning. I have a gig 2 hours away at 6 p.m. And then at midnight, I have that Rocky Horror to play. And then on Saturday at 2 p.m., from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., I have another gig. This is now a third band that I'm playing with. From 2 to 4, maybe in, 40 minutes away in Maine or something. And then at 6 p.m., I'm playing a gig an hour and 10 minutes away from that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'll be a tight thing. They can start without me,
Nice.
This particular thing. Yeah. But so 4 different gigs with 4 different bands in basically 24 hours.
Sounds like
30,
you're
30
living
hours.
a charmed life to me.
It does sound that way, and but I have found that I'm not able to be as focused, as polished at the things that I'm doing. Like this show is a perfect example, but it's not the only example this week where, we showed up and it was like, oh crap, I forgot that we were recording. Also, because it's not our normal Tuesday, I didn't have it on my calendar ahead of time to do all of my prep and everything, to figure out what the special days of the week are and those sorts of things. So I had to do that when we got together.
Right.
And I don't like to do that when we get together because that's now wasting your time. And so all of my things this week are going to suffer because my schedule is a little too packed. Is the reality of it.
Yeah. It's easy to fall into that. I was going to say fall into that trap, but it's just easy if you're somebody who gets a lot of things done and you maximize your time. It's like a magnet for other things and for other people to ask you to, hey, could you do this? Could you do that? I have a couple of volunteer organizations that I help run. And I can tell you that when I got involved, and one of the reasons why I got involved, because I had more time on my hands. But now that I'm in the middle of building something, I don't have as much time.
Yes.
And I could see it, to your point, I could see things falling by the wayside. I can't get back to people in a timely manner. I use your thanks for your patience on a daily basis. And I've just had to kind of come to grips with that because I pride myself on being quick and responsive and super resourceful, and let me help you fix that. But I've just had to start telling people, hey, my time is limited, so it's going to take me a while to get back to you. Or I've also taken to telling people, hey, you don't have to involve me in this part of you've got this. Don't CC me on the email. I don't need to know because I think you're very well equipped to get this project done or whatever. So, but yeah, it sometimes, like I said, you're dancing on the head of a pin, right?
That's it, and that's how it has felt. The last 3 days certainly, and even Monday, like it was just like so much. But it's been leading up to this, and of course, I create this for myself. I loved your phrase. You don't have to involve me in this. That's a different way of saying no.
It's a polite way.
Polite
way, but It's really true, man. Yeah, people like to CC a bunch of people on, especially email and all stuff. It's like, I don't need to be here, and I'm not saying that like I'm discounting the work you're doing. It's awesome that you're doing this, but you don't need. We don't need to
do it together.
Yeah, I'm not like now. If it's something you need my approval or you want my feedback, well, that's great. And so I often try to say it in a very kind way. It's like, hey, you got this. You just go. You don't need. You just update me. Whatever, once a month. I don't need to be CC'd on the 5 emails you send every single day.
Yep,
it's too much.
Yep,
it's too complex.
It's too complex. There's another side of this that maybe is its own topic to talk about. Like, there was one thing on Tuesday was utter mayhem, as if today's not. But I was moving too quickly, and I got a text from this new band that I joined, and they were like, "Are you available on this date?" And I looked really fast on my phone because it was a private party. They're like, "It's happening quickly. Can everybody do it?" It was a group text, and there was a lot of activity in the text, not just about this one date. It was other things. It was too much, and it wasn't the only thing in my life that was going too much, right? It was all the things. And I looked quick, and I was like, "Yep, I'm open on that date." And they booked the thing. We got the deposit in. Like, it all happened very, very quickly. And it was either that night or the next morning that I realized, I have plans with my family on that day. Crap. Yup.
Yeah.
And so I have to let my family down on that day is what the band was like, "Oh, let me see if we can try to move it, this, that, and the other thing." And it just didn't work out. And so it kind of came down to, well, do we need to cancel the gig, or are you going to let your family down? And they would have been okay with kind of either one. It was like, well, they can go do this thing that I was going to do with them without me. You can't go do this other thing without me. So I put myself in this position. If I'd realized it, I simply would have said no, but I didn't. That's on me. So I got to own this.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I don't like being unreliable. And that is very much an unreliable moment. And I especially don't like being unreliable to the people that I care the most about. I don't like being unreliable to anyone, but to my family, I don't know. I feel like I don't know that I made the right decision on this. So
that's a tough one, man. And you I don't know that you'll ever know, but it depends on how. It doesn't happen very often, or hardly at all. It's once in a while things you get double booked and something's got to give, and I get it. It's tough. I don't have an easy answer to that, man. It just depends.
That's the thing. There is no easy answer.
Yeah. That's a hard one. But I don't know. Cutting out. What do? You don't show up. You let all those people down, or you tell your family, "Hey, I can't go to this thing, or I can't." And I think it depends on the context. If it's happening all the time, it's a bad sign. You got to put a stop to it. Bad sign. If it happens, a couple times a year, because it's like, and also I think it's the way you present it. You presented your family, "Hey, I made a mistake."
That's how I started. Actually, I started with, I was going to do it in person, and then completely randomly. But nothing in life is ever random. This is a date 2 months out. Yeah. My wife texted my son and I about that date. She just referred to it. It was like, all right, well, now that we're having this conversation, I can't wait till this weekend when we're all in the same room and I can do this in person. So I started with, "I effed up," and then explained it from there.
It happens to all of us, man.
You got to own it. Yeah,
you got to own it. That's super accountability is the answer.
And I think it's interesting. That process of owning it, first of all, is objectively, I would say, is the right thing to do. it also communicates to other people that, like, okay, we all make mistakes and he made one and he's owning it. So that's good. But it also communicated to me, like, I mean, it's probably the catalyst for this conversation. Right after I had texted my family that, somebody texted me about another date that I could like squeeze in or whatever it was. And I was like, no, you know what? Yeah. I need to say no to this.
Right.
And it's okay to say no to this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've really kind of leaned into the no. And I get like, I've been building this thing on X, and my DMs are full of, hey, I have this opportunity. Do you want to do this, or what should I do? And so you just have to go, oh, I can't be involved in that. Okay, wish you luck. Here's some resources, but you got to
I'm not,
go.
I don't have time for you.
No,
and
you can't do it.
The thing that you put, it's interesting. We both had topics like this because you had a topic, the fight against complexity.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I think I have the setup for that, Shannon.
Yeah. I want to talk about it because, so whenever and here's my context, whenever you start something new, you're trying to make yourself look professional, trying to build things out. And, in like this coaching business, I'm trying to, okay, what app do I use, or software, or platform? How do I, keep all this stuff together and everything? And I found myself trying to overcomplicate it to make me look more sophisticated than I really am, as almost like a crutch, in the sense that this app looks really good and I'm going to do this. And, I actually just reverted back to a planning document that I created in Google Sheets to work. It's like, hey, here's our objective of our call. Here's the agenda. Yep. Here are the action items. It's very simple. And it just reminded me that simplicity should be the system. I almost said the G word, but I didn't want to swear on the show. GOAL. So the simplest systems, they're just the easiest to make succeed and to be successful in. And complicating things to make yourself, and when I say yourself, I mean me, sound better, or like you know what you're doing and all that. You have to really fight against it, or I do at least, and I bet there's other folks that do it. And I think it's in all aspects of our business. How your customers, what is the fastest way that they're going to get to your product or service? How can you eliminate the layers that in between your customer service department and your customers themselves? And just thinking about simplicity and removing unnecessary barriers to being successful. And it just really hit me as I was building this stuff out.
I definitely follow that. And it's not necessarily to prioritize simplicity, although that's probably, I might be saying the same thing. I do it to prioritize action, right? If a system is too complex to get set up, that friction, I'll be aware of it, and I'll be like, I don't want to have to send this to this person because that's going to take me all this time and mental energy to get going. Maybe I should just cancel the call, reschedule it for next week. And it's not that I don't want to do the call with the person; it's that I don't want to do the setup for the call with the person, right?
Yes.
And so I have learned to just use those very simple things, and it not always, starts with a Google Doc or a Google Sheet. And it's like, we can collaborate on this, and this is a great place. And I'll do that until I realize that has become the friction point.
Yes. If you outgrow that, I get it. You got to go to the next level or something.
Then we either build something or, find a new platform or whatever. But starting with because Google Sheets and Google Docs are ubiquitous. Everybody has access to them. Everybody knows how to use them.
Yeah, you don't pay. I mean, well, you pay with your data.
Yeah,
but I mean, you're just, whatever. But
that's why I actually do a lot of those on my Synologies because they're it's my data. I own.
Right,
it.
that's nice. Your own cloud.
But it's private cloud, but same. Yeah. It's exactly the same thing. Yeah.
And it's like I think Steve Jobs always said, "Hey, the customer or the user of this software or whatever it is has to get done within like 2 clicks, right?
Yes.
Or maybe it was 3 or something. But think about all the steps that your customers or just people you interact with have to go through to get things done and see if there's just ways you can remove that complexity because it just takes too much time, man. Even like this one of these volunteer groups that I'm in, it's primarily an older crowd. And I don't want to say they're technically challenged, but they often want me to print out like 100 pages of stuff to bring to the meeting.
Oh, no.
Exactly. And I refuse, of course, because and I'll say, hey, I'll put it up on the website on a password protected page, and everybody can log into it and do whatever they need, print it out themselves.
You want to print it? Yeah, go ahead.
You got
sure.
it. You got it. I'm like, I'll say, hey, I'm not going to print out 100 pages of anything ever again in my life. But I just keep running into this. Keep it simple. Was it, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, and another part is as I'm interacting with lots of business people, the folks that can explain how their business works, like in one sentence, like we had Joe Benson on, well, it's actually yesterday it got released.
Yeah, last week. Last week
because this will come out. Yeah. So with Eversight, and he described what their business was in quick. And I've noticed that if you can't do that, if it's some roundabout way and we work with this group and we make this cut of this and we're set up to do this and we're close to this and then all we have to do is this, it's like, maybe I'm just not smart enough. It's too sophisticated for me. And that tells me right then, do not get involved in this.
Yeah. If you do that for your business, because certainly every business I've had, if you asked me at a certain point in the business's evolution, what do? I would give you this circuitous description of it because I'm seeing it as the thing that we evolved, right? Like,
yeah.
And so what I've learned to do is notice that and then stop and say, okay, get impatient with myself. Give myself, 12 words. Yeah, what is it that you do? And I'll do that sometimes. Like, well, it's this website where we have people and we provide news and reviews for Apple users. Like, that's it. That's it.
And I got to the point where it's so complicated to try to describe what I did talking about that. I would just say, I'm in the technology business. And now if they want to ask more, like, oh, well, what kind of technology? What do you do? Okay, well, then we're having a discussion. It's not a 5-second, then you go down.
Well, the beginning of this show, I used to stumble through how to describe what you were about to hear us do at the beginning of every episode. And one of you, David Dawson, one of our listeners, called me out on it and was like, you need to get better with that. Because I listen because I know what the show's about. But anybody coming in would think you have no idea what the show is about. And it was like, oh, right.
Good point. Yep.
Got it. And then you fix it. And now I know what to say, and it almost rolls off the tongue, even though I ad-lib it each time. It's fine. I know how to describe it. Yeah.
It's good. So, so if I would love more tips on how to simplify things, how to fight against complexity. I could say that because it seems like I'm always fighting against it and setting things up. Feedback at businessbrain.show, or you can find at Dave Hamilton and at Shannon Jean on X. Send us a DM and love to hear your tips. We're here to help each other.
Absolutely. Like he said, feedback at businessbrain.show. Keep living that charmed life, folks, and we'll see you on Friday.
All right. Very cool.
That was good.
Yeah. Yes.
It felt good for me. I don't know if, that was more business therapy than maybe. I don't know, but the people seemed, we wind up getting good feedback on those episodes. So.
I agree. I can't wait to talk about this next thing.
Great. I can't wait to hear.
We started talking, if you're still listening, so we're in between the two episodes, between shows. So Dave is twiddling knobs and doing all the stuff to make the audio come out right, and then so I can go work on it later. But we started having this discussion before the show about it. I call them, I guess, I don't know if they're trailing indicators or leading indicators, but if you don't know about me, I've always been I'm a product guy, but I've always sold like end of life, overstock, store return, just some weird type of situation, because that's where the money is for what I would sell. The margins were better and everything. So then I started to explain what I'm looking at right now on my screen to Dave, and I was like, no, we got to do this on the show. And it's not obscure, but it's a different product product category that I've never been involved in. But I just cannot believe the prices of what these things are selling for.
I can't wait.
I love it. I'm an auction junkie. I love finding deals. I can never pay retail. I'm always looking for some angle to get a better price, and I'm just looking at this stuff going, what in the heck is going on? And I posted
I can't wait.
Yeah, I posted about these auctions earlier today on X, if you go up there, I'll send you a link to these and tell you how to get registered.
Do you want to be able to share your screen during the episode for anybody watching? Or is it not something you should share? Okay.
Hold on. Let me prep it, and so we can share it. Okay. Let's see. Update. Yeah. They're going to do it in live in the StreamYard. It'll give you that.
Go in the StreamYard window. Go down to present.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. Let me do a certain window.
And choose share screen, and then you should have 3 options there, and one of them will be window, and you can pick a certain window.
Oh yeah, this is going to be great. All right, I see it.
Is it okay for me to add this to the thing right now?
Yeah, you can add it. Or whenever it's ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to add it in order to get it ready. Yeah, it's essentially a test. I'm ready to roll when you are.
Maybe this isn't interesting to anybody, but I geek out about this stuff. So
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to me. And consider me your audience of 1. All right. Here goes. Business Brain, episode 576 for Casual Friday, August 23rd, International Cheap Flight Day 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain. Welcome back to Business Brain, if this is not your first time joining us, where we take an idea, a question, something that's happened, an event, anything that we can use as we analyze to train our business brains and make it a little bit easier for us each to lead those charmed lives. Here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And here in Northern California, I'm Shannon Jean. How's it going, man? This is Casual Friday, right?
That's what it feels like.
That's right.
That's what it feels like.
That's awesome. Hey, before we get into our topic that I do want to talk about in detail, I want to share this thing with you. We started talking about it before the show. I'm an auction geek. I love finding great deals. I share a lot of this information on X with my followers. And I came across this. There's a company called Advance Auto Parts. And they have stores all over the country. I almost said all over the world. Who knows? Maybe they do. But they have a liquidation site on that they sell excess inventory. And I was looking at it this morning, and I was just like blown away how inexpensive this stuff is selling for. And so I put up an example. This auction is over. It just ended. So if you're watching this streaming on X right now or Facebook or LinkedIn, you'll see me talking about the screen. So check this out. So this is a truck. This is brand new product. They say like new, but it's brand new because they describe it down here. Never used.
Got it. Okay.
Truckload of now. I'm not excited about this particular product, and I'm not telling you to buy this, but just listen to this. Truckload of brake pads and shoes, brake hydraulics, brake hardware, and more, 9,488 units, new condition, extended retail, $156,859. So now, first thing I tell you is retail is always a lie. So let's just cut that in half. Let's say it's $75,000, $76,000 or something like that worth of product, $77,000. We'll all agree on that.
I'll trust you on that because you've done this plenty of times.
Retail prices, maybe not so much on auto parts, but anything else, because the stores are always blowing, running specials, and they'll 30% off, 50% off. So the retail price is a lie. That's just a fact. And
yes,
so
of course.
This truckload of 9,488 units with the retail price $156,000 sold a few minutes ago for $100.
One C note. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. About a penny per item. Right.
Yeah.
And it's not an anomaly. I've been watching these all day today, and I'm thinking, there's a full manifest, which is crucial when you're buying anything. Don't ever buy anything without a manifest. You've got part numbers. This has been up there for, 3-4 days. So someone who could have done some, a ton of
research, little due diligence. Yep.
But
even just brake pads. Like, I know what I pay for brake pads in my car, and these sold for 10 cents.
Nothing. Yes, they're basically giving you this stuff. So
if you knew somebody that would want to buy these, that $100, and I realize that's the if. You need to know where to sell the thing that you just are now. I mean, they won't drop ship this to whoever you sell it to next. This is going to arrive at your house.
Yeah. You've got to have an account. You got to be able to accept a truckload. This is a massive, it's 24 pallets of stuff, and it's a huge project. But where I was going with this is, I've been seeing more and more of this where stuff is just like, how are they doing it so cheap? Because nobody's bidding. I don't know if it's some sort of economic indicator. I believe it is, but I don't know what type of economic indicator it is. Is it the way things are right now that liquidation companies are like, oh man, we're not spending much, we're paring back inventory, our purchasing, or is it because is it a trailing indicator that 6 months ago when Advance Auto Parts reported terrible earnings and they wrote off, millions of dollars worth of inventory, or is it a predictor,
a leading indicator?
A leading indicator. That's the word.
I knew. I got you.
Yeah. Is it a leading indicator that is, man, we better watch out. This is something coming up. I don't have the answer. I'm not an economist. I need the Freakonomics guy to tell me what how this answer is, but it's something, and I'm fascinated.
So we got to put this in the hopper with my declining prices on concert tickets and tuna fish for less than $1 a can.
There you go.
Like, I think they're all telling us the same thing.
Yeah, that
prices are coming
dropping.
down.
Prices are coming down.
Prices have to come down.
Yeah,
and they are coming down. It was interesting, actually. I think listener Patrick wrote in the day after we released the episode about the tuna fish and concert tickets that it was like, the announcement came out that the consumer price index had dropped for the first time in however many weeks or months or whatever. And it was like, see, tuna fish, man.
Tuna price index. Yeah.
It's the tuna price index, dude.
Yeah.
This is a big one in our house, and it has not led me wrong. The other indicator, and it is a leading indicator in both directions, is the quality of wait staff service that you get at a restaurant. When the economy is rocking,
quality goes down.
The quality goes down because generally speaking, the people who would work in restaurants can get jobs somewhere else.
Yes.
And when the economy is going to, kind of take a turn for the worse, quality service at restaurants goes up.
Fascinating. Yeah, it's cool. So if you want this list, if you want to get find out where to get this auto parts deals, just feedback at businessbrain.show, or you can DM me on X.
Can we put a link in the show notes?
Yeah. Not to this. You have to, but yeah, whatever it is, because they have to go register, and I have to tell them how to register. It's a little
I see. All right, so just email us.
It's not like anybody can just stumble into it. You got to have a business.
You don't want 24 pallets at your house by accident anyway.
No. Especially this stuff. I always tell people, I'm not telling you to buy this. I'm telling you to get in the game, to learn the system, to create unconventional ways to create wealth. So, but that's my personality, and the real topic I want to talk about today is connecting with people on another level than just your business name. Bob's HVAC, or not Bob, that's personal. HVAC Masters or whatever, some business name is using your personality and your brand. I mean, you think about it an extreme example like Crazy Eddie or whatever. That
I remember Crazy Eddie.
Guy. Yeah, I think he went to prison, but that's a little.
He definitely went to prison. Yeah.
Or the guy who's the guy that makes the bets, big sports bets every year and gets a ton of promotion. He's like a mattress seller or something. I don't know, but
all right.
It's just sharing more of yourself is a way to connect with your customers and clients on a much deeper level, and a way to build credibility, especially if maybe you don't have a lot of credibility yet because you're just getting started.
Yeah.
But when you can let out some of your personality and talk about stuff you've gone through and the mistakes you've made or what you learned, and there's some, it helps you build rapport with your prospective clients. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, because you're showing vulnerability.
Yeah.
And you're showing a humanness, right?
Yep.
I know I've told this story on this show before. I'll tell it again, but when we started the Mac Observer, and this was 8 years ago, whatever it was.
Yes.
We decided that we didn't want our personalities in the site. Like we wanted to be like the New York Times. And it was going to be a faceless thing.
I've been there. I've done that kind of thing before. Yep.
And it seemed like a good idea at the time. And what we realized was anytime even just a little bit of someone's personality or something came out, it was like, that's what people were drawn to. That was the thing that brought more people to the site or brought people back. It was like, and we got comments like, oh, I like when we started doing these things, which I really liked. I don't know why we stopped. It doesn't matter. We sold the business. But we would put like a news article out, a very, straight, just the facts news article. And then at the end of the article, we would put the Mac Observer spin.
Oh,
and that's where we would kind of explain our take on the article. And I think we started doing it because we weren't very good at, we didn't have the skills to do that all as one, right? So it was like, well, let's just do it as two separate things. Like, who cares? And people loved the spin. Like, that's what brought people to the Mac Observer. Again, right. I don't know why we stopped doing it. But that, and it was at that point that we realized, oh, wait. Nope. I think we were wrong. I think we do want to put lead with the bylines and make a big deal out of the different personalities that we have here. And obviously anybody that follows any kind of news nowadays knows that that's what happened everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. That's
right. Including the New York Times, which was sort of our model of like this very faceless kind of thing. And it's
and I think
because that's attractive to people.
Yeah, the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the perceived connection. Whether there's actually a connection there is a whole other conversation. But it's that letting people in.
Yeah, you can create it and it can be, I mean, you can use hyperbole and you can lean into your stories. And, I tell stories on X all the time. And my daughter always says, Dad, that story's been workshopped, And so I'll go, my life is based on a true story. And so, it's okay. It make people, you're trying to slim down what may be a really long and complicated story. And you're trying to connect with people along the way.
Yes.
You're buying their their attention from one sentence to the next. So of course you have to workshop it.
It's got to be workshop. My kids have never used that word, which I'm surprised about because it's definitely like a word in my daughter's lexicon. But I get accused of the same thing, and it's like, well,
of course.
I curate.
You have to. Yes.
I am an excellent curator.
Yes, exactly.
And not every story has to be mine either. I'll just tell you the story. It's interesting because it's a story. It's a
story. That's right. So, when you're creating your website, what's your story? Yes, your company's the best, of course, and our product is the most unique, and it's this and it's that, and we're the fastest. That's like table stakes. Everybody expects that. Why are you in business?
Yeah.
Why are you here? What is your credo? What is your this is what we do. What's your culture like? And what are your people like? Who's the employee of the month? And what do you guys do on a Friday at a barbecue? And, bring the personality to the upper levels of your business.
Yes.
It will make you stand out. You want to be different. It differentiate yourself from your competitors, especially if you're a small business. Maybe you don't want to fight. I don't think you should fight on price, and you want to keep your margins up. But people will pay more money if they feel like they're connecting with a person.
Yes.
And if they're buying from Dave or Shannon instead of XYZ Corp, it's just. You just talk to people and see how they feel about these businesses.
But you can also raise the personality of XYZ Corp too by doing what you're talking about. And like here's a couple of pictures from our company retreat or whatever. That keeping that going. And I'm not great at that. I need to be better at that.
It is good. So just think about that. Think of ways that you can insert your personality. And now more than ever, you can automate this kind of stuff with, text expansion, emails. You don't have to rewrite the same things over again. You've got all kinds of ways that you can template for your customer service departments and bring some of that personality into your business. I think you'll find it really will help you connect with people.
I have one more piece of advice for you, Shannon, which I'll share with everybody. I'm going to ruin a lot of you right now, and because you'll never be able to hear this word used again without judging the people that use it. Most of the people that use it, that is. You said, as you were talking about, businesses say, oh, we have the best product or we're the most unique. Unique requires and also cannot have any qualifiers.
I got it.
It is a binary. It is a binary term. You are either unique or you are not unique. Yeah. There's no degrees of uniqueness. You can be rare, but you're either unique or you're not.
It's kind of like being specialized in like 50 different things.
Yeah, right.
We specialize in specialization. That kind of thing. Yeah. It's a good
point. The term "very unique" is used all the time.
Yeah,
and I understand that language evolves. Like I've watched language evolve, as we all have during our lives, and it will continue to evolve. I feel like it is important that we have a word that means unique. And we don't anymore have a word that means literally, because that word has the definition of that word has officially changed.
Yeah,
and that's unfortunate. I suppose we have verbatim, right? That might be the closest that we have in the English language now to what literally used to mean. But I think it's important that we have a word that continues to mean what unique means.
Yeah.
And so I share.
Perfect.
And now it's just going to ruin you because your ears are going to go up every time somebody says unique, because more often than not, they're going to use a qualifier with it. And
it's true. So if you have ideas on connecting personally with your clients or what you do for your business, love to hear it. You can find Business Brain up on X at BizBrain Show or feedback at businessbrain.show. We would love to hear from you. And thanks for hanging out with us again on this Friday. Hope you have a great weekend.
Yeah, shoot us a note. Feedback at businessbrain.show. We like to hear from you. You can even say that your email is very unique, and we're going to be very happy to receive it. We won't even judge you for it. At least we won't tell you. Have a great weekend. Keep living that charmed life. We'll see you next week. And we're out.
Awesome. Folks on the live stream, thank you for hanging out with us. So, yeah, there was a little few. Got 106 today versus about 150. So you never know.
Yeah, that seems, yeah.
It's nice that X actually posted, they have much better analytics now. They do audience analytics by breakdown by demographic as well as time of day that everybody's watching. It's pretty cool. So maybe we can see where people are paying more attention.
Yeah.
So right on. Well, thank you for listening, folks. We're going to end the stream now. We'll see you in your favorite podcast app. See ya.
Later.